We told you we'd be back.
We want to hear you enjoying yourself.
You're in big trouble, mister.
W3L. W3L.
The longest running weekly wrestling show on YouTube. Since 2014, W3L Wrestling Showdown has seen the biggest stars in action, and they're all available in our extensive archive. We continue to feature the biggest stars in their biggest rivalries, which all come to a head on W3L Wrestling Showdown.
You wanted it? You got it. I'll see you at Resolution in Goodbye.
Where anything can happen. This is something that every wrestling fan needs to be a part of. And it happens every Thursday on the W3L network on YouTube.
Hi W3L fans, it is Fiona here with a very special YouTube video for you about For the Love of Wrestling. For the Love of Wrestling is Europe's largest wrestling con and takes place this February on the 21st and 22nd at the BEC Arena in Manchester. Now, I could sit here and tell you all about it, but we thought we would go one better and bring in a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Monopoly's own James. James, how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm good, thank you, Fee. I'm very, very good. Thank you for having us back again. We really appreciate that. How's it going?
All good here, all good here. I feel like it's deja vu. I think we did this time last year as well, I believe.
We did as well. Yeah, but I think probably 12 months to the day.
Pretty much, pretty much. So rather than me bleat on about For the Love of Wrestling, you're the man with all the information that we can talk to the fans about. So the event itself, it's not just a single event, it's a full weekend of wrestling shenanigans. So for some of the viewers who might not know what For the Love of Wrestling's all about, what can they expect from the weekend?
Yeah, it is, and in no way is this meant to throw shade at sort of any other events, both here and sort of further around the globe. But yeah, you're right. It's a full weekend of events. We like to term it as like a festival of wrestling. It did start out very much in that sort of standard 2-day wrestling con event, and it's just grown arms and legs over the sort of the last 6 events, and now we've moved on to having it over the 3 days. The event itself started back in 2019. For many people know, For Love of Wrestling is owned by the wider convention organising group, Monopoly Events. We have events up and down the UK and beyond. We've got 2 new events this year, for instance, in sort of Prague and Dublin. We've held events as far afield as sort of Dusseldorf and places like that. And we've got events up with your good selves in Aberdeen and Edinburgh and even Newcastle and places like that. So, but yeah, with doing conventions quite a long time. Started with like For the Love of the Force and things like that, and very rapidly one of our biggest flagship shows that grew was Comic Con Liverpool. It's now at the sort of size where it's 60,000 people over a weekend.
Wow.
It's got that big. We've got to do it twice a year. At one of the shows back in, I think it was 2018, the boss, because obviously the boss has always wanted to see these as inclusive as possible. So it's never just been about your standard Comic Con guests, or perhaps even like your Doctor Who and your Star Wars guests and stuff like that. He's always wanted to branch out and try and encompass as many fan bases and genres as possible, wrestling included. So back in 2018, he decided to have a couple of wrestling guests to his Liverpool show, 2 people by the name of Edge and Gail Kim, who I'm sure you're very, very familiar with. We're not allowed to call him Edge anymore, as he coped these days. So we did that. And very, very quickly, almost sort of by sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock on Saturday at the event, when the boss clicked on actually, these wrestling fans are the real deal. They don't mess about, and there's obviously appetite here to perhaps build a whole event for wrestling as itself.
And the wrestling fans will be thanking you for it, because there are plenty of us in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been a wrestling fan for 40 years. In the past, there's been small pockets of people who've tried to do this with varying levels of success. But you know, the UK has never had its own established own wrestling convention. So this is what's been established sort of over the last 6 events. It's been going, to say, since the first one was 2019. We lost a couple of years, like everybody, due to that wonderful COVID period. But yeah, this year will be for Love of Wrestling 6, and we're kicking off on Friday the 20th. We're kicking off with 2 events. The first one is an evening with RVD. Obviously ECW original, wrestling legend, you know, Mr. Monday Night, Hall of Famer these days. You know, you think ECW, you think RVD, don't you? So we're doing an evening with RVD, which is almost like your sort of like a very sit down, intimate sort of Q&A type event. Obviously going to learn all about his career, going to, you know, give fans the chance to ask Rob questions. And Rob, as anybody knows who's seen him on his channels and on his social media, he's not backwards in coming forward. So
No.
the great thing about he's not at all. So Rob's a really cool guy, but he will answer you, and he will always answer your questions. So we're really, really looking forward to that. And what better way to follow an hour and a half of listening to Rob Van Dam by some actual wrestling. So the second event on that Friday night is our good friends at Progress Wrestling. Many of you know, one of the UK's premier wrestling promotions. So we'll be doing a 3-hour show with Progress Wrestling straight after. And, you know, they'll be showcasing some of the UK's very, very best talent. Some of it, the talent is absolutely insane who's going to be on that. And we've also got, on that show, is one of our guests from the convention itself. So Shotzi Blackheart is going to be wrestling on the Friday night at that show as well. Everybody loves Shotzi. If you've ever had the pleasure, you know she's an absolute doll. She's such a lovely person, and she can really go in the ring. So we're looking forward to watching Shotzi in action. She's taking on Lana Austin, I think, at that particular show. So yeah, that'll be great. So yeah, loads of great wrestling on the Friday night. Saturday, we're into the actual main convention itself. Obviously, then you'll have your chance to meet all of your heroes, get all your autographs, get your pictures, check out the prop builds, listen to all of the talent do Q&As in the ring. So we have 2 rings set up, one for you to go and take your pictures in, as almost like I want to use the word prop ring, not stunt ring, because that implies you should be doing stunts in it. So prop ring.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want any accidents.
No, thank you. No Canadian destroyers off the top rope. Thank you very much. So yeah, a prop ring where people can go in and take pictures throughout the weekend. And then obviously in the main ring, that's where we'll be doing our Q&As with all of the guests. And you know, as well as that, we showcase as also our prop builds. We have video game areas. We have a full arena sort of dedicated to a trader area, so almost like a huge market which is dedicated to wrestling fans. You will find all sorts of wonderful treasures in there. Of course, you'll find your belts, your rings, your pops, your chairs, you know, all that sort of stuff, but you can find some absolute gems in there as well. So take time, if you are coming to visit with us, to take a little look around that area. We'll all be showcasing some of Europe's biggest collections as well. We've got people coming down displaying classic ALGNs, you know, belts, classic British wrestling, ring-worn collections, some really, really insane stuff. So looking forward to that as well. But obviously for most people, the sort of the main course of that Saturday and Sunday event is the guests themselves. So there's going to be some great stuff going on there. And then obviously on the Saturday night, we have our after party, which again, we're going to be having our 3-hour live wrestling show brought to you by the wonderful people at Future Shock. Now, the difference about that show, I'll come back to it in a second, but as well as that 3-hour live wrestling show, we build a full size stage as well. This year we're building the SmackDown stage with the fist and everything.
The best. That's cool.
Which is so much fun. People love that sort of stuff. And again, that's just down to the enthusiasm of my boss, the owner of the Monopoly events. I think I said to him a few years ago, oh, maybe we should have like a Rory's War sign. And I think his response was, why don't we just build the Raw stage? And I was like, yes, let's do that. And that's the sort of level of that's the motivation you want in the office. So we'll do off that stage and into the ring. We'll do our cosplay competition. So people will get to recreate famous wrestling entrances, and we do that as a competition, which is loads of fun. And then I mentioned Lana before. Lana's a great friend of the show. Um, Lana does an hour of Lanioki as well, which has to be
Oh,
seen.
been there, done that.
Completely.
That's
Yes,
an experience.
yes, she'll know what that's like. But the great thing about our wrestling show this year is um, when it first started, we sort of tried to get a wrestler in our sort of what's become sort of our iconic match, which is the for Lover Wrestling Invitational, which is a Royal Rumble type match. Um, and so we did that, and then over the course of the years, we've had like a wrestler involved here and there. This year, our live wrestling show, we have a guest involved in every single match throughout the night, starting off with the Invitational Rumble. You know, we've got Bushwhacker Luke in there.
Amazing.
Brado's going to be in there as well. And then we've got a tag team match, which is Team Melina against Team Christy Hem. And then we've got a Survivor Series type match, which is Team Sandman versus Team RDVD. We've got Lally, which is against Lana Austin. And I like taking on the Inspiration, which many of us will know better as the Iconics. Uh, and then just announced this week, which is incredible stuff. We've just announced that Troy Ryan is going to be taking none other than Billy Gunn. So Billy Gunn we announced this week as a guest, which is going to be an amazing one. And then we've got our main event. And our main event is really interesting. It's become again a bit of an iconic match at the event. So whoever wins the Invitational Rumble gets their chance to challenge challenge the current For Love of Wrestling champion in the main event. This year's a little bit different, so it will be the winner of the For Love of Wrestling Invitational Rumble taking on our champion this year, which is Sam Bailey. Sam Bailey won the main event last year versus current TNA champion Frankie Kazarian as well. So it's a three-way dance for the For Love of Wrestling title. I mean, we try and make things bigger and better every year. This year, we feel we've smashed it out of the park. You know, a talent in every match and belts on the line and recent WX superstars, the current TNA champion in there, as well as legends like, you know, even Bushwhacker Luke and stuff like that. And Earl Hebner's going to pop up somewhere
Brilliant.
as well. Bill Apter's going to pop up. And the fun of the after party, you just have to sort of just keep your eyes on because something's always going on. It's great fun.
It sounds absolutely incredible. I think as a wrestling fan, it's something I don't want to miss out on. So, it sounds like such a good weekend. You mentioned quite a few of the guests there. Obviously you've been running the shows for a good few years now. Who's been your kind of let's go top five guests over the last few years?
Top five, guess. Wow.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. So who would be the top? Okay, so in no particular order at all, I'd probably say Trish Stratus. We've had Trish Stratus
Mhm.
on a couple of shows. She's absolutely amazing, Trish.
She's a sweetheart.
She's everything you would hope she would be.
Yeah,
She's bubbly,
100%.
she's cheeky, and she's just absolutely phenomenal with the fans. So Trish Stratus would definitely be up there. Taker, just simply the fact that they always said Taker could never ever be done. And obviously we were the first people outside of WWE to ever have Taker appear at a show.
Yeah.
So Undertaker's got to be up there. Bill Goldberg, definitely Bill Goldberg. And I tell you what, Bill, I was like many people, because obviously it's my job to work with the guests and stuff like that. I always throw any preconceived ideas out the window. But Bill Goldberg was always going to be one of those people where I was like, well, you know what? He's got this reputation and
Yeah.
seems to be a bit of hit and miss with some fans and stuff like that. Honestly, could not have been nicer. He was amazing with fans, went above and beyond, just kept asking us, is there anything else I can do? How else can I make the fans' day better? He did impromptu Q&As with some of our platinum customers. And even then, I think I've told this story before to somebody else. Even at sort of 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on the Saturday night, Bill was just with us for the Saturday. So 5 o'clock, Bill was done and dusted. He left the venue. But 8 o'clock that night, I found a bag underneath one of the tables, and it was a bag of merch for Bill that somebody had sent from Italy to get signed by Bill. And it ended up under a table. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
These things happen. I thought, oh God, no, what are we going to do here? And just on the off chance, we just text Bill's people within sort of like 45 seconds, phone straight back. Yeah, Bill's at his hotel. Take the stuff over. He'll sign it for you now. And, went over there. Bill couldn't have been nicer. He's asking if he wanted to go for a beer with him and stuff like that.
Oh,
I
superb.
mean, everything you read on the internet, I would probably suggest that's negative about Bill Goldberg. Discount it all until you've actually met him, because I think Bill Goldberg might be one of those people who protects his gimmick very, very well.
I can pretty much vouch for everything that you said, having
Yeah,
done a tour with him as well. He's quite
he
an
is, isn't he?
intimidating human being when you meet him for the first
Yeah, yeah,
time,
yeah. He's a
but
big
once you
bull.
get that out of the way,
Yeah, he's a great guy. Bully Ray. Bully
Mhm.
Ray's one that really, really surprised me, because I knew Bully Ray. Bully Ray's pretty much what it's sometimes difficult to separate the character Bully Ray and the man Bully Ray. From what I've seen, he like all the best gimmick and like all the best people, all the best workers in wrestling. There's always got to be um, quite a bit of the human in the character. I think that they're,
Mhm.
they're the characters that always get over the best, whether it be your Shawn Michaels, your Taker, anybody like that. There's always a person, a good part of that human that's in the gimmick. And that's why they're always so successful. That's always why they get over so well. But Bully Ray, I mean, I think we see Bully Ray as someone who's obviously a really tough guy, a guy who's been in the industry well, a guy who's well respected in the industry, and all of that is true. I don't think what we acknowledge sometimes, and this is just from seeing him work over a sort of a couple of weekends, is first of all how much sort of a locker room leader Bully Ray is, because he
Mhm.
certainly is that. I mean, everybody sort of he's the guy that people sort of surround themselves with, and you'll just notice people sort of walk past, even people that work in the industry will walk past him and sort of show him
Yeah.
show him a certain amount of respect. So very, very quickly, if you're around Bubba Ray, similar to Trish actually, if you're around them long enough, you see that people sort of look up to them as a sort of locker room leader. And secondly, for Bubba Ray, I'd probably say just his mind for the business. I don't think he gets anywhere near the credit he should get for having the mind he does for the business. Because I was very lucky. I saw him talk to a number of different people over the weekend who both worked in and out of the industry, and I'd suggest that we say sometimes that he's probably forgotten more than we know, and that certainly stands for
Probably.
for Bubba Ray. He's an exceptionally clever man, and someone that, as I say, knows the industry inside and out. And then in my fifth one, I mean, Bray Wyatt. It's got to be Bray. I think
Wow.
we've had Bray on two of our shows. One of the most creative, loveliest, most down to earth people you could ever hope to meet. An absolute joy to see him with fans. A joy to spend a little bit of time with him away from the floor. He very, very kindly offered to do a very, very intimate Q&A with us. And this was just after he'd left WWE. And there's only about 15 people in the room,
Oh,
and
amazing.
you could have heard a pin drop in that room. And
Yeah.
he similar to that Jake the Snake thing. I mean, he holds you in the palm of his hand and he decides which way the room's going to go next. He's again, he's kind of intense, but with again with that Jake thing where it's quite sinister. But he's just got that with sort of an Undertaker level of charisma.
Yeah.
That you're just drawn to whatever he's saying, and that really, really good. But yeah, an absolute pleasure to work with Bray a couple of times.
That's a good top five. Has there been
Yeah.
any guests that you've been anxious to kind of meet or have on board with you that have maybe turned round to end up being an incredible get for you?
Um, I mean, you're always anxious when there's the people you don't want to annoy. I mean, you don't want to annoy Big Show. I mean, we certainly didn't want to upset him because he's rather a large man who you imagine you don't want him sort of chasing you around the building. So, um, but no, I mean, we I wouldn't say there's anyone who we were ever like overly anxious about, but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's what people about. Daniel Bryan's a really nice guy, yeah, or Brian Dennison, whatever we'll call him, these days. He was really good. Um, Braun Strowman, again, Braun Strowman, not someone who we wanted to annoy. Um, but he was really nice. No, I can honestly say I don't think we've ever been like anxious about receiving someone that there's people we've wanted to get it right for.
Yeah, of
People we
course.
knew who were quite particular, not particular, yeah, particular is who are very particular about things. Diamond Dallas Page, for instance. Diamond Dallas Page, we know he's really professional, but his attention to detail is exceptional. Whether that
Mhm.
comes to the pens that are on his desk, or the hotel where he's staying, or how he's queuing. He likes to know about everything because he's just that involved.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, you benefit from that. I mean, he sent us his promo video, and obviously most people send a promo video where they're talking into his phone. He sent us a promo video that it must have taken his people 2 or 3 days to make. It was
Wow.
like a mini movie he'd sent us. It's the most professional promo we've ever been sent, and that's DDP. So
Yeah,
again, so yeah, someone who we were anxious to get things right for, and I think we just about pulled it off.
brilliant. So you've obviously had, I don't even know how many guests you'll have had from wrestling over the years. Who have you not had as a guest that you would class as your absolute dream guest to
Ooh.
get on board for a convention?
That's a great question. So we'll probably just start with, I don't know, that's still with us today.
We'll go the potential. Well, you can have what? Let's go. You can go either way. So
Let's go either way. So if you do
yeah,
maybe a top three people who were our dream guests who are perhaps no longer with us, me personally, um, I'm going to say Hulk Hogan would have been a dream one for us. Obviously,
yeah,
I think for any wrestling convention in the world, I think if you don't have Hulk Hogan on your list, I think you're not quite thinking right. So Hulk Hogan definitely. Andre the Giant, I think, would have been just incredible for the photo.
yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, we love the monster photos. I mean, we've got great Carly on the show this year. We've had Big Show, we've had Goldberg, we've got Kevin Nash on the show this year. Me as a wrestling fan, I grew up in the era where wrestlers were superheroes, and
Yeah.
I still like to get that feeling when I'm stood next to a wrestler. So I'm really excited about Carly and Swerve and Lashley. We've met before. Lashley's got arms like a rhinoceros. His legs,
They're
honestly.
huge.
Lashley's arms are just ridiculous. So Andre, um, and I'd probably say Kurt Hennig as well, just because I just think for me
Nice.
it's yeah, I think just he just look. I've always been at a lot of time for Kurt Hennig. So yeah, those that are still with us, who would be our dream guests? Okay, so I'll cheat a little bit here. Guests that we've already had. So a dream for us one day would be to do a Brothers of Destruction reunion. So we've already had Taker, but we've never
Mhm.
had Kane. So we'd love to do that reunion and have the brothers.
That would be
Uh,
cool.
that would be
I can
very,
imagine
very,
their
very cool.
line would be enormous.
Yes, yeah. Again, another tag team we would love to have on would be the Hardys. The Hardy, the Hardys, unfortunately, we did have booked, and then COVID kicked in. So our 2020 show, the Hardy Boys were meant to be at that show. Then unfortunately, they couldn't make it. So yeah, literally that close to getting the Hardys. But then unfortunately, we lost them. But yeah, so the Hardy Boys definitely, the Brothers of Destruction, um, definitely. I'm trying to think of one other. Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar will be a really good one again. Again, that is very rare in the convention world. He
Yeah.
says very little. He's still got that intimidating superhero thing about him. And for me, I mean, once you take away The Rock and John Cena, I still think Brock Lesnar, even today, is wrestling's biggest star. I think he
Yeah.
sells more tickets, and I think he's still got that more about him than perhaps sort of anybody else working today. For me personally, anyway.
What about the man on your shirt?
Stone Cold. I mean, do you know what? How have I forgotten Stone Cold? Do you know what? I just think because, yeah, well, Steve, this is actually Steve Davis on my shirt, believe it or not. But it's, yeah, Stone Cold. You know what it is? Why did I go with Brock? I think it's Brock Lesnar because I've met Stone Cold a couple of times, and we would obviously love to bring him over, but I've never met Brock Lesnar. I've never even been in the same room as Brock Lesnar,
Right.
so I think for me he holds a little bit more mystery, sort of like
Okay.
holy grail about him. But yeah, of course, in an absolute dream scenario, let's do an Austin and Rock duo photo. Let's do a
Oh,
Brothers of Destruction photo, and let's do a Hardy Boys photo.
oh,
Yeah,
count me in to
yeah,
shut up and take my money, as they say.
exactly. I mean, if we could get all six guys back for a TLC one reunion, that'd be really good fun.
Wow.
I know that's a dream. That's so. Yeah, I mean, and that I think we've mentioned it before. If we ever do get the we've had the Dudleys on our show before. We've had Christian on our show before. So if we could ever get the Hardys down, we would certainly make all of the efforts possible to get that TLC reunion done.
I will keep my fingers crossed for that one year for you, well and truly. You'd spoken earlier about all the props and things like that. So it isn't just the meets and greets with the wrestlers, there's the whole other side of the convention as well. What's been your favourite kind of prop stroke display that you've had over the years?
So we do a number of different displays. And I think probably my favourite one personally is I also do my own displays at the events. As I say, this we're all the people involved in the show are huge wrestling fans. So if you ever come to one of our shows and you see the ridiculous number of like pay-per-view chairs on there, I think there was 90 at the last one. They're all mine. So I'm particularly happy with.
No, 90, that's
Yeah, I mean,
impressive.
there's another one. There's another. I'm looking at another one now that arrived this week. So that's always. I like always bringing the chairs, and I like how much of a buzz people get out of seeing the
Yeah,
chairs. But prop builds, I think. I really like the slammy one we do because people seem to get a lot out of that. But I think the best prop builds we've done since the event started is the stage. So we
right.
did we did the WWE Raw one, Monday Night Raw one 2 years ago. Then we did WCW Nitro last year, and now obviously we're doing WWE SmackDown this year. That's the one that I think the fans are most wowed about. That's the one where we see the fans taking the most pictures, and also that's the one where the fans get to witness the wrestlers coming through the curtain in their iconic music, all the
Yeah.
right graphics on the wall, making their way down the ring. So the fans absolutely love that. And obviously, then when we do have our live wrestling shows on the Friday and the Saturday, we use those stages as well. So I
Yeah.
think I think overall the most successful, the biggest wow factor, and the props that have benefited the event the most would be the stage builds.
Brilliant. So, as well as all the kind of overseas talent, there's also the opportunity for wrestling fans to meet a lot of the British talent,
Yeah.
including W3L's very own Mike Musso and Chris Renfrew, who will both be in attendance for the weekend. So, feel free to pop along and say hi to them and get some posters and some pictures as well. Who else from the British scene will you be able to meet if you head along?
Yeah, you're going to be there able to meet so many British talent over there. I mean, all the Progress roster will be there to meet you over the weekend. They'll have stores and a stall set up over the weekend. Obviously, as will Future Shock as well. Fairly sort of new company called Top Rope Wrestling, who's
Hmm.
based in Manchester. They're going to have a display there. But we've got all the people from all around the world of wrestling as well who are going to be there. You might know Steve Bell, who's a famous British author. He's wrote books recently on the British Bulldogs. He's just wrote another recent one on Big Daddy as well. So he'll be there to sort of meet fans as well. So he was really interested. Who I'm looking forward to meeting is Bronwyn Billington. The daughter of the Dynamite Kid.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so Bronwyn's going to be there with some of her family. She's got some of her dad's stuff
Oh,
that she's
that'd be
going to
cool.
display, and Bronwyn's going to be there as well, meeting fans as well. Because she's got her own sort of like indie career in the States as well,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, and this is what about. I mean, and I attend wrestling conventions all around the world, and I absolutely love going to them. But some of them, you go in, you queue, you meet, you get your autograph, you take your picture, and then you go, and
And you're
that's it.
done.
This convention is different. It's like a theme park. There's just so much to do constantly. There's so much going on constantly. So please take your time to go around and and meet everyone with the stalls. Talk to everyone there. Guys like Kenny from Inside the Ropes will be down there. I'm sure we'll have the guys from Insane Championship Wrestling there, doing their bit. We'll have our champion there. As well, Sam Bailey. He might not be the champion on the Sunday, but he'll certainly be the champion on the Saturday. Even our host, like Chris Brooker, many people within the UK wrestling scene will know. SoCal Val, who's been part of the Flood Wrestling family for many, many years
Yeah.
now, will be wandering around as well. I mean, it's who won't be there. This has fastly become the number one event in Europe's wrestling calendar.
Yeah.
We're not saying we're quite competing with WrestleMania just yet, but we're trying to get there.
Never say never.
Never say never.
But I know that Mike Musso and Chris Renfrew are really looking forward to being there and representing us W3L and getting to meet the fans. So that is going to be awesome. Before we finish up, I'm going to ask you, have you got any stories, any funny stories that you are able to share about any
Yes.
of the guests over the last few years?
I tell you what was a funny one probably from last year is last year we decided we wanted Grado to be in the battle royal, and then as we moved closer to the show and announcing it, we decided, well, why don't we make it a secret? Because obviously we wanted that. We wanted the Madonna entrance, but we didn't want fans to see it coming, and we wanted a bit of sort of an OMG moment for sort of fans. Um, and in theory, it all sounds really easy, but what you forget is that you've got fans attending to the event. So every train station there's fans at, every airport there's fans at. There's fans just purely by accident in the same staying in the same hotel as the guests. There's obviously thousands of fans at the venue itself. So how do you get someone from sort of Scotland into a hotel, make sure they stay in the room all day so nobody sees them? Then actually get them from their hotel room down into a bus, over to the venue, inside the venue, up to like the changing rooms, and then from changing rooms right down to the gorilla position in the back of the. It was absolutely insane, and I don't think people would realize how much cloak and dagger. And Grader's not the most inconspicuous or quiet person at the
No,
best of
he's really
times,
not.
as you will know. I love the man to bits. He's someone who class as a friend these days, but yeah, he's not quiet. He's not inconspicuous. Um, so yeah, that was a lot of fun there. Where there was bed sheets involved, there was secret entrances, there
I
was
was going to
bringing
say a
through
blanket over the head and
bringing through hotel kitchens and so yeah, stuff like that's always really really funny, and we love doing stuff like that. But no, all the guests we've had are great, and they always have a really good time at our shows, and we hope that comes across to the fans as well. We certainly think so because the guys are always having a good time. And when the guests are having a good time, it comes across to fans, and that's why we get the responses and the reviews we do from the fans to say that it's total dream come true. So yeah, please come on down.
brilliant. And if there's any fans still on the fence about attending, why should they be there? Get short, sharp, and sweet. Why should they be there?
Short, sharp, and sweet. I mean, what I would do is I would first of all check out our Facebook page. Obviously, our Facebook page is called For the Love of Wrestling.co.uk. You'll know you're on the right one. It's got about 110,000 followers, so you'll find it very very quickly. And just keep up to date with what's going on. Obviously, a lot of our guests are now sending us videos. And so what I would say is you can come to our event very, very cheaply, and you can just you can have the time of your life, and even once you get there, you don't have to spend any money. If you don't want to get autographs, if you don't want to get pictures, you don't have to do that. What I've always said is, for me as a wrestling fan, if I wasn't into autos and pictures, the reason I was still come to Full of Wrestling is because of all the stuff that you get included, all the prop builds and the gaming areas, and you get to see all the collections and the market, and all the other wonderful stuff, and being around sort of like-minded people as well. I mean, you won't get anywhere, in the UK where you can spend 3 days amongst your people talking around, the things that it's very very rare. You have a large group of friends who are all still into wrestling, but this is thousands of people who like-minded people, and all they want to do, and you'll never find an arena or a venue full of friendlier people than you will at For Love of Wrestling. But come in, and if you just want to sit there all day and watch the panels, and all of the panels are included within the price of your entry ticket, which is absolutely insane value when you think about it. I think it's 26 quid for a day ticket, and then you can just sit there all day and watch 10 of the biggest superstars in the world just do sort of interviews, and they're in the ring, they're literally like a few feet away from you, so it's not like they're off on a stage somewhere. But obviously, if you do want to come and meet the guests, please come and meet the guests. I mean, this year we've absolutely knocked Not the lineup out of the park. I mean, someone who we've always wanted as a dream guest of ours was Soraya. Some of you'll know better as Paige, but Soraya's been on our get list for a number of years now. So she's joining us. We're reuniting the most iconic commentary team in history. So both the King Jerry Lawler and JR are going to be joining us. Some newer names for the people who've watched WWE recently. So Scarlett's coming to joining us. Killer Cross is going to be within us. Shotzi's going to be joining us. And then for all you guys who are more AEW fans, we've got Orange Cassidy coming. We've got Darby Allin coming. We've got Billy Gunn coming. All those sorts of people, as well as sort of legends like, Great Khali, Samoa Joe, Kevin Nash, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Marty Jannetty, Earl Hebner, Rob Van Dam, so many, Christy Hare, Melina, the Iconics, all these sort of people, Swerve Strickland, so many people. If you want to meet wrestlers, you will never find this many wrestlers in one place. It's going to be insane.
Brilliant. And just lastly, where in fact can fans get tickets from if they are wanting to come and join us?
So hit all of our links are on that Facebook page, but you can go directly to the source. Again, nice and simple. www.fortheloveofwrestling.co.uk. You'll find all the links to your tickets, all of your guests roster, where the event's being held, how to get there, any accessibility needs, what it's about. So yeah, jump onto the Facebook page or jump directly onto the website, and you will get everything you need. And if there isn't something there that you're wondering about, please just message the Facebook page and we'll get back to you within 24 hours with an answer. We're happy to answer any single question you want. Things like, questions we get like, what about car parking? Yes, there's car parking on site. It's ANPR car parking. You pay on the day when you get there. They're the sorts of queries we get. But if anything isn't answered by the website or the Facebook page, just drop us a message and we'll come back to you as quick as possible.
Brilliant. James, I am so looking forward to seeing you and everyone else on the weekend of the 21st of February down at the BEC Arena in Manchester. Thank you so much for joining us. And hopefully we'll see some of you guys down there in Manchester as well. James, thank you so much.
Don't delay. It is selling like hotcakes. But thank you very much, Fee. It's been an absolute pleasure again.
It's good to see you. Take care.
Cheers.